fellas, we can be that mistake. Let's do this. What up, y'all?
Hey, guys.
We're Embrace Suck 21.
Yes, we are.
I'm Spencer.
And I'm Daniel.
And we're here to either confirm or bust some common stereotypes about Americans.
Yes.
This is from the Infographics channel. I'm not sure what their credibility is. I know we've reacted to stuff from Watch Mojo before.
Yep. Oh, yeah, that's the one.
That's the other one. We were just talking right before we hit record. What channel was it that we reacted to that we're like, this is bullshit?
Yeah, that was Mojo.
Yeah, it was Watch Mojo. Or at least y'all said it in the comments. But this will be interesting. There'll probably be a lot of pauses in this one to either confirm or deny stuff. So
let's do it. This is going to be interesting.
Yep. Let's go.
We all love to stereotype, to believe in or to cast forth oversimplified ideas about certain groups, and in today's case, a nationality. Is it really true that all Italians are passionate lovers and equally passionate about food? Do the Brits have stiff upper lips and bad teeth? Are Canadians simple, outdoorsy types with an enthusiasm for chopping wood? Well, today we are going to look at just one country in this episode of the Infographics Show, Common Stereotypes About Americans. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so that you can be part of our notification squad. The big, bold,
Let's see if they can earn our subscription.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
American. How true is that? There is a stereotype that Americans are a big or fat nation. The stereotype is partly true if you believe the World Health Organization. According to 2015 data, the USA was the most obese Western nation in the world, but it only came 16th on the list, which included all the world's nations. The island of Nauru in the region of Micronesia came first on the list. Reports suggest Americans actually exercise a lot, but with a diet of fast food, high sugar intake, and supersized portions, US citizens will have a hard time running off the extra pounds. We might take bold and brash to sometimes mean arrogant and dismissive of other.
Okay, so about that whole
we just talked about that.
We did. We did. we do have a lot of easily accessible, not healthy food.
Oh yeah.
It's like a burger costs $1, a salad costs $5.
But I will say this though. There's one hell of a balance. Because for everyone that gets a burger, there is someone on the street cycling or running.
Yeah.
It's like almost a 1-to-1 ratio, man.
Yeah. It's half of us are and half of us are not when it comes to. Yeah. Yeah.
We are not the cycling guys.
We're definitely not. We started this channel to be the cycling guys, but we were not.
But good thing is we can withstand a pretty strong hurricane because we're not getting blown away.
Yeah. And it's hard to kidnap us.
Yep.
Stay safe. Eat cake.
Yep, stay safe. Eat cake. All right. It's just going to go in a shirt. All right.
Supersized portions, US citizens will have a hard time running off the extra pounds. We might take bold and brash to sometimes mean arrogant and dismissive of other cultures. Who hasn't seen those viral video clips wherein Americans are subjected to global knowledge questions and come out looking like they know little about the world? According to the writer and habitually quoted academic Noam Chomsky, the average American knows a lot more about sports than global politics. The gas station attendant who wants to use his mind isn't going to waste his time on international affairs because that's useless. He can't do anything about it, said Chomsky, stating that people use their expertise where they think it counts. He also said to be critical and disobedient went against the grain, and so most Americans just join in the debate at the trivial level and know very little about deconstructing global politics. Someone writing on Quora said the education system, the TV media, are US-centric. She also pointed out that America is large enough to travel around extensively, and foreign travel can be prohibitively expensive. The State Department said in 2016 that 64% of Americans don't even own a passport. But then you could ask, with such a large and beautiful country, do they need one? Another stereotype related to lack.
Yeah, okay, so.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack there.
There's a lot
to unpack there.
Okay, so first of all, that's one of the reasons we don't talk politics on this channel is because we don't really pay attention to it that much because we have plenty to keep ourselves occupied on in this nation, okay?
Yeah, the few that politics define, they're very few.
Yeah.
They don't define us all.
Right. And we're a very diverse nation when it comes to, like, city versus country. Like, having lived in both, like, I could tell you that life is very different in both. So... Yep. what you see on the television doesn't apply to half of the population.
Yeah. But also, that could be to anyone, really. What you
Yeah.
see on TV.
Yeah,
That-
yeah.
You got to get your news from a person that you know. Like, does that make sense? Like, I don't
it's
know.
a community.
Like, yeah.
Like it's more useful to yourself as an American citizen to know what's going on in your general area as opposed to what's going on in the world.
Yeah.
It's not that we don't care. It's just we have plenty to worry about in our own area.
Our own little slip of paradise here.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like, and that's, I mean, okay. We're all taught world studies.
Yeah.
But remember, our education system is shit.
Yeah.
So we don't retain. We learn, we memorize to
Yeah.
regurgitate.
Right. We're taught how to take a test,
No.
not to, get the information into us and use it.
No.
Like, we're taught the Pythagorean theorem. Who's going to use that?
Every time I go to the gas station, I'm like, this is an equilateral triangle.
Like, no. Come on, man. But yeah, and going back to the whole diverse country thing, like, there's a lot to do within our border.
Yeah.
And you don't need a passport.
This
it.
place is massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
There's something here for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, New York is very different than, say, Miami or Kansas or LA or Seattle or Chicago or Texas.
And that brings up another point, though, is that I'm kind of upset that 64 Americans,
64%.
only percent, not just 64 Americans. 64% of Americans don't have a passport. Like, that blows my mind, man.
Yeah,
That blows my mind. Like, I get international travel can be expensive and costly,
Yeah.
but what you get from traveling to different places is a knowledge and appreciation for other cultures or appreciation for your own.
Oh, yeah.
You know, there's a lot of times I've traveled where I appreciate where I come from.
Uh-huh.
You know, and my hope is that Alexander travels.
Yeah, I hope so, too.
The best way to know who you are, what you are, where you come from is travel. Get out there.
Absolutely.
You know.
Like as we've seen from Idiot Abroad, like
Yeah. Well, there's a good way to travel, and then there's the Carl Pilkington way to travel.
which is the Ricky Gervais set up way
He
of
got
travel.
Sent.
Uh,
He didn't travel. He got sent.
yeah. He basically, Ricky Gervais's idea was to make him hate it.
Yeah.
But like you remember in the intro of Idiot Abroad, like Stephen Merchant was like, he definitely believes that travel broadens the mind a bit, which I agree. You know, I mean, I haven't traveled out of the country a lot. I mean, the last time I was out of the country was for my honeymoon in St. Martin.
That was a little bit ago.
Yeah, it was a little bit ago, as of the time of recording, a couple months ago. Yeah, it definitely broadens the mind. It definitely gives you more perspective. But we're such a big country.
Yeah.
Like, why would you need to?
Yeah.
Why?
And I feel like that's where people perceive ignorance.
Mm-hmm.
They say, "Oh, well, you're not thinking of what the Danish kroner is doing in the stock market."
Right.
And then we're like, "What the F is a DK coin?"
Right.
You know?
Yeah, who
Like,
knows that?
So anyway,
We're still trying to figure out Bitcoin.
It's just one of those things where, yeah, I see where he's coming from, but I also see that it's a good and bad thing. Like, travel is huge to me. Like, get out there, travel. But yeah, 64% of Americans don't own a passport.
Yeah.
So that's a pretty understandable stereotype.
Yeah.
Like, very America-centric.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
But America's massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
Yeah.
Massive.
Like I said, there's something here for everybody.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see. What else we got here? We're only
Oh
less
my
than
God.
2 minutes in,
Yeah.
man.
Another stereotype related to lack of knowledge about other countries might be that Americans watch way too much television and that sometimes those shows are a tad mind-numbing. Well, Americans do top the list of being the most avid TV watchers in the world. According to a Recode article in 2016, the average American watches 4.3 hours of TV a day. The older generation more so than the younger generation, who prefer spending time using other devices. It depends on what you watch on TV, but one could ask if you could equate the global ignorance stereotype with being the country that is glued to what has sometimes been called the idiot box more than anyone else. We are starting to sound quite negative now. So what about all those positive stereotypes? The well-known English
Okay, so before we get into this one, watching TV, I mean, yeah, for the older generations, yeah, most definitely.
Well, yeah, they have nothing else.
Right. But the younger ones, yeah, we definitely spend more time on our cellularized telephones, smartphones.
Screen time.
Screen time is huge.
I think screen time is massive. In fact, so massive that there are ways to alert you if you're spending too much time on your screen.
Yeah. But and another problem with that is that two American companies, Facebook and Google, aka YouTube, set it up so that when you're on the site, it has ways to keep you on the site as long as possible with how their algorithms are set up.
Yep.
Like YouTube's recommended feed, Facebook groups,
Ads.
Yeah.
Fucking ads. You could think of something and that shit'll be in your ads.
Exactly. So it's by design.
Yep.
And it's one of those American I don't know if cancer is the right word, but that has spread throughout the world.
Well, it started wholesome. Like anything, it started wholesome. It started as a way to unite a family around a certain time of day. Get the family together, watch the television.
Yeah.
Watch to see what's on, you know. And every time, like, dad had the remote, mom had the remote, you were watching her shows.
Right.
Now it's become this just out of control.
Mm-hmm. And on the weekends, you were watching the football.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, that was what it. But back in the day, right after radio, you know, like TV, it wasn't a lot on. It was just a couple shows.
Yeah. Like there's so many choices now, and more so than not, like we're in our own bubbles now.
Yep.
Like,
yep.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, it is crazy.
Yep.
All right, let's figure out what this next thing is.
Quite negative now. So what about all those positive stereotypes? The well-known English writer Stephen Fry once said that after traveling around the USA for a while making a TV program, one thing he most admired was the friendliness and positive outlook of Americans. He extolled what he called American optimism, and that American people believed they could improve and do what they wanted to if they tried. This all may boil down to what we might call the American dream and the pursuit of happiness. Are all Americans like this? A report by the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime put Americans 8th on the list of most drug-addicted countries, noting that the prescription painkiller epidemic is presently very worrying. North America had the highest amount of drug-related deaths of all continents in 2015, with the report stating, in the United States, nearly 500,000 people are estimated to have died from drug overdoses since 2000. Just recently, the New York Times reported that drug overdoses in the US were rising faster than ever. Perhaps American optimism is partially true, but American OxyContin addiction undermines the positive outlook stereotype. What about guns?
All right, this one's a hot topic. Before we get into this one,
When did this come out? Was this pre?
Let's see when this came out.
Pre-Rona?
Oh, it's 2017. It's
so
pre-Rona.
This is pre-Rona. And I can tell you that number has risen.
It has definitely risen. Yeah.
My God.
Yeah, like just... And I remember, like, our most viewed video is the Al Murray versus Americans.
Yeah.
And Al Murray was going off on the American dream, and why there is no British dream is because they are awake.
Well, I feel like if you're a country long enough, you get there.
Yeah.
You know, and you have to understand, like, in the idea of country and longevity, the United States is one of the only babies.
Yeah. Like, we're such a baby when it comes to the rest of the countries.
Figuring it out.
Yeah. And all the rest of the nations are just like, wait and see. It'll happen to you.
Just learn.
It'll happen to you.
Yep.
Shoot. All right.
Oh, God.
Guns.
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Americans love their guns, right? According to the Telegraph in 2016, Americans do indeed have more guns per person than any other country in the world. The data tells us there are 112.6 per 100 citizens, more than a gun for every person. It's true that many Americans support the right to bear arms, but it's also true that many other Americans support tighter gun control or the banning of guns altogether. A recent Pew Research poll found that 52% of Americans support stricter gun control, while only 18% wanted less strict control. A Gallup poll in 2016 said that 76% of Americans said handguns should not be banned for all people, not including authorities, but 23% said they should. Another stereotype is that Americans are...
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now, interesting thing about that is that it has to do with the Second Amendment. And you can talk to this more than I can, but like for a while, since its inception, the Second Amendment was meant to make it so that in case the government became a bunch of dicks, you could rise up and overthrow it and start again. But it was the National Rifle Association that sometime in the 70s or the 80s went to the Supreme Court and made it so that the interpretation of the Second Amendment was the literal right to own a firearm. I mean, that's my understanding of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and if you keep true to the Second Amendment, when it was written, I feel like the government then had muskets. People had muskets. Government now has a lot more shit than muskets.
Oh yeah.
People, I feel like an escalation of force.
Yeah.
You know, like, okay, they have muskets. We got muskets. They got all this shit. We got all this shit. Okay. Yeah, no one's firing muskets except hunters. Right. They use muskets.
Right.
I mean, they're called black powder rifles. But they're fucking muskets.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's in there. Second Amendment.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, and the crazy thing is, this is just a generalization of this percentage.
Yeah.
If you go by state, it's different.
Yeah.
This is not, and 112 guns per 100.
Right, per 100 people. Yeah.
Out of those 100 people, 5 of them had the 112 guns.
Right.
That's how it goes. Not, what? Everyone gets a gun? No, not everyone gets one.
No.
Like, a small percentage of that.
Yeah.
But yes, it's true that the shit hits the fan. People can... Yeah. There's enough. There's enough out there.
Exactly. Yeah. And I had something I was gonna say, but like it goes back to my point originally of like having lived in a rural area versus a city. Like in a rural area, we used it to hunt.
Yeah.
And not to go to the school and kill people because we couldn't get a prom date.
Yeah. No. There's so many. There's so many. Man, you could spend. People spend hours on this subject alone.
They do, yeah.
Talking about it.
Right.
People are for, people are against. That's how it is.
Yeah.
That's what makes us America.
Welcome to America.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Let's do it.
What's this about kids?
I don't know.
Is that Americans are loud and sometimes rude. An op-ed in the Huffington Post seems to agree with this assertion. Awareness of how personal actions impact others seems to be a weak point for Americans in general, said the writer. This translates to the perceived ignorant persona Americans abroad present, she added. There are many reasons put forward as to why this is, especially when abroad, but the main one is that instilled in Americans is not only a positive outlook, but also self-importance. People think they should be heard, and this also goes back to embracing freedom of speech and saying what the hell you want to say, goddammit. This has sometimes been taken as rude in a situation where an American will complain about the service or food in a restaurant, but perhaps these people only think they are enjoying their right to do that. In Japan, there's a saying, hit the nail that sticks out, while in America it might be more applicable to say, be sure to make good use of your protuberance. This also might align with the stereotype of American patriotism. When British students...
Okay, so... Yeah. Yeah, we are loud and rude.
Yeah.
There's a term for that. It's called being a Karen or being a Chad.
It to me, it's just, I feel like a lot of us feel like we're the main character in a movie.
We think it's the Spencer Joyce story
or the Daniel story, and it's like,
but it's
not a lot
it's
of people
not.
are like, hey man, I could be henchman 1.
No,
You know?
everybody wants to be the
John Wick.
the
or,
John Wick.
Or the, whoever.
Yeah.
But in reality,
Yeah.
no. We're supporting. We don't even get a line in the credits.
No. Most of us don't.
So
Most of us aren't even on the production team.
yeah. But it takes a interesting person to admit that, though.
Yeah.
Everyone's like so self. Oh my God, yeah.
I mean, kind of the us doing this whole channel is kind of proof of that.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. But
Yeah.
but the thing is, we're not assuming to know everything.
Right.
Because my God, we don't.
No, we do not. Like that is I think that's what separates us from a lot of Americans is that we're okay with not knowing everything.
Well, it's cool because we're using YouTube as a tool to expand our grasp on a place we can't travel yet.
Right. Not yet. Hopefully one of these days.
Yeah, not yet. But and so this is different. This whole setup is different.
Oh yeah.
Stereotype of American patriotism. When British students asked American students questions about stereotypes, one Brit kid asked why Americans were so patriotic. Some American students didn't deny it and gave good answers. One student said, "We are a major melting pot country. Rather than history or a common language that unites us, we are united by freedom, which is what it means to be American." It is, however, possibly a weak stereotype, as another student said he wasn't patriotic at all, and another called patriotism mere mob mentality. A Gallup poll said that in 2016, only 53% of Americans said they felt extremely proud to be American. This compares to 70% who said yes to that question in 2003. It said the younger generation was the cause of this huge change, which mirrors the mob mentality students' belief. Sometimes you'll notice in Europe there's a certain snootiness that Americans are not cultured. This to some extent could be true, as the United States is relatively new, and so we can't really credit the country for a renaissance of culture. But hold on, what about the great transcendentalist movement of the 19th century with its poets and philosophers that is making a comeback today against hyper-consumerist values? This later led to the free-spirited Beat generation and the books of Jack Kerouac. In music, America gave us the blues, originating from African Americans in the Mississippi Delta. It gave us New Orleans jazz. It gave us, to a large extent, the hippie 60s and the American Kool-Aid acid test. In New York in the 70s, we got disco, and following that came the hip-hop movement. Throughout those years, writers vied to write the great American novels. Some of them, such as Joseph Heller, Philip Roth, and Toni Morrison, wrote literary masterpieces that will go down as books that changed the world. Can we really say that Americans are uncultured? So, what do you think of these American stereotypes?
All right. So let's unpack the last two.
Well, all right. I think all this boils down to we're just too fucking young.
Yeah, we're too young of a society. But the patriotism.
I like that. I like that kid's answer.
Yeah,
that was awesome. That made me fuck yeah. Like,
which one though?
The right one, not the mom mentality. It's a melting pot.
It is a melting pot.
And we are. The one thing that unites all of us is freedom.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. All right. That could
which
go
is
way deep.
Yeah, that is subjective. So
yes.
that will be.
But
yeah,
the one thing that we're all standing on the same fucking continent.
Yep. We share a united country. That's pretty much it. Yeah. And the idea of diversity is part of what makes us us.
Yeah, for better and worse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And let's see. And that part about the culture. Like, yeah, we have our artistic contributions to society that we have I mean, rock and roll. Like, rock and roll was created in America. It was, based off a little bit of blues, jazz, and hillbilly country.
Yep. Rock and roll and nuclear fission.
Yep.
We got that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was a South Park episode that encompassed it perfectly.
Oh yeah.
You have the I'm gonna reference a South Park episode.
Go ahead.
Okay, guys. I'm referencing a South Park. There is the anti-war group and the war group. You can't have both. I mean, you have to have both.
Right.
That's what makes us us. Is that you see both sides of the coin.
Right.
You have to have balance. You can't have just war culture. You can't have just peace culture.
Yeah, it has to balance out.
Got to balance out.
Yeah, and that I think that encompasses it perfectly.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, because listen, I read the comments, and, you know, a lot of times people are like, oh, whatever. For every, anyway, I'm not going to get down on it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. No, not going to do it.
Yeah,
almost got me.
You almost got it.
Almost got me.
But I don't know. What do you want to rate this compilation?
There are stereotypes. They are valid stereotypes.
Yeah.
You know, like I could see that.
Yeah.
If you're trying to look from an outsider's perspective, I can see all those things.
Oh yeah.
You know,
like a lot of them are true.
Because
all of them are true. Let's be honest.
Yeah,
here.
no, all of them are true. Because if you think about it, American TV is watched everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas other countries' TV is not watched here.
Yeah, like I don't think we would have discovered things like Idiot Abroad or Catherine Tate's show or In-Betweeners.
No.
And we just been going about our day.
And you can properly assess your stereotypes from all those shows that are mass watched globally.
Yeah.
Any TV show that you have, Seinfeld, you have Friends, you have all those shows where you can actually get all these in.
Yeah.
They can apply to those shows.
Absolutely.
So when you have these shows that are just mass marketed globally, yeah, I can see where you can come up with these assumptions.
Yeah, that's hit the nail on the head.
That's what I think. So, I think that these assumptions come from a skewed point of view.
Yeah.
But every stereotype has a little bit of truth.
Yeah, there's a little bit of truth behind it.
You know.
So for that, 2 thumbs up.
Yeah, man.
And I think this channel has earned our subscription.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
We're subscribed already.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, let us know if you want us to do more of these types of videos.
These are interesting. Like, remember, guys, we don't want to get political on this channel.
No.
We are strictly against that.
Absolutely.
You guys get enough of that everywhere else.
Yeah. Y'all come here to get away from that.
Yes. We're not bringing that here.
Absolutely. Man, this is a long video.
It is.
Let's wrap it up here.
Yep.
Thanks for liking, commenting, subscribing, hitting the bell, and share with your friends.
Definitely.
Until next time, wash your hands, scrub your toes, wipe your ass, blow your nose.
And embrace the suck.
See y'all next time.
Later.